Hi Natalie and Jeff. I thought I would do a quick little video to show you the construction of your wedding present. Jeff, I don't know if you know this, but Natalie selected a console table. If it's in like my house, she probably made the decision and not you. So anyway, I thought I'd put this video together and you can follow along as I build your console table. This is what you've requested, or at least Natalie requested. So I will do my best to make it. I'm starting from this picture, and I scaled everything up and tried to come up with a cut list, and I'm going to select the wood today. This is the cut list, so I'm off to the wood rack to see if I can find appropriate pieces for the console table. This is the wood rack, and this area here is where I keep all my walnut, and that's what you want your console table made out of. So I'm going to search through here and try to find some appropriate pieces using my cut list, of course, to figure out what the best pieces are for your console table. Sometimes the gnarliest boards can turn out to be nice pieces in the end. As I find pieces, I'll mark them with chalk. Easy to erase, don't have to worry about any pencil marks when I'm done, and I'll just mark them with chalk to make sure that I can keep the parts straight and produce what I need to produce. This might be a good piece for the top. Picking's all done. I've selected the lumber, and if all goes to plan, this drawing or picture is going to turn into a real live version of this. So this pile of nasty looking, gnarly looking lumber is going to turn into your console table. Even this nasty looking piece of wood. This is actually the drawer fronts, and I think you'll be pleasantly surprised at how these drawer fronts are going to turn out from this piece of wood. Well, on to the milling. Hi Jeff and Natalie. It's been a couple weeks and I finally have all the joinery cut, and so I thought I'd give you a quick little tour of your console table before I start putting it together. So I have four legs because if I have three, it'll fall over. And the top of each leg will have a small apron, side apron at the top. We'll also have a back apron. The other side obviously is identical to this side here. And I also have a small stretcher at the bottom, and this groove here is for the shelf which goes at the bottom between the two legs. You'll notice holes here. They won't be showing because what happens is this end here, which is called a tenon, will go all the way through the hole, and then I'll chamfer the edge so that you can, so it will fill that hole and gives a nice little touch, which is classic of the mission style that you've chosen. Now, on the bottom of the top apron and the bottom stretcher, you'll see there's a series of holes in each of the pieces. And in those holes, that's where the spindles go, the other classic feature of a mission style furniture. And so if I'm careful, I should be able to fit these two together. And it's a tight fit, which is the way it should be. So that's the problem right there. Okay, so these two will fit together. Real tight, snug fit. That one doesn't even get glue, but it'll get glue anyway. And you see, and so that's what it looks like. Of course, there's 5 of these things that will go in all the way across, and that will be the end of your console table. So that's where I am now. What I'll do is, in a little while, I will come back and show you the initial assembly, the dry assembly of the thing, of your table, and that's that'll be the next stage. One thing that you probably have noticed is that I don't have drawer fronts or the top done, and the reason I do that is that the drawer fronts have to be fit to size, to fit in the holes that are left from them. So I've got the two, the upper and the lower, and this piece fits in between, and then the drawers will have to be fit into that hole. And so that's why I don't have the drawer fronts done yet. And I always do the top last, because if I do the top first and get it all finished, then it bangs around the shop and might get dented or scratched or something, and so we've got to redo it. So I do that last anyway. And the top is actually the least critical of everything. It just has to look nice. And one other thing that makes a Michelin style is the side balusters that go on here like this. And so that's where I stand now. Those are the pieces, and I will be back in a little while, whenever I get around to it, and we'll do a dry assembly, and I'll show you the bits and pieces that go inside that nobody ever sees, but have to be there for structure and keeping the drawers from falling out. So anyway, we'll proceed onwards, and we'll talk to you soon. Hi Natalie and Jeff. It's glued up, and so I just want to show you a few of the features of the insides. This part you'll never see because they're supposed to be hidden, but they're all integral to how this whole thing goes together, and especially the drawer system. Okay, so yeah, I'm gonna probably be moving the camera around, and I don't have a Steadicam or a gimbal, so it might be a little jumpy. Oh well, you'll have to deal with that. So I'm going to show you the insides of your console table. This is the top of your console table, and if I zoom in, the piece that you see just underneath the R is something that will never disappear, but that's just to tell me that's the right hand side. And that piece, that flat piece that's just underneath the R, that's called a drawer runner. And on top, I also have that piece there is called a kicker. And so the drawer will go into the space in between the runner and the kicker. And obviously it will fit into this opening here. Now in the center, I have a runner and a kicker. And of course, on the left-hand side, of course, they're being a little ornery, I also have a runner and a kicker. And so if we look at the front, you can see that the drawer will fit into the two. I have two drawers fitting into the hole, and so that is that's inside. A couple pieces that I still have to install. I still need to put in a spacer here so that the drawer doesn't get caught up on the on the edge of the leg, and I also need something in the center as well, right in here, so that the drawers again don't bind and work out properly. Okay, so that's your console table. That's the innards, and next time you see this, it should be well, you'll see part of the construction of the drawers and how I do that, as well as start looking at the drawers. So we shall talk to you later. Okay, we're just about done. So what I've done is I've put the first coat of finish on, which is double oiled linseed oil, And over top of that, I'm going to put a couple more coats of something a little more protective, but the linseed oil is there to darken up the wood and bring out the grain a little bit. So I'll give you a quick little tour of your console table. So this is the frame. This is the console table, and I've got the two drawers here. This one here is which one is it? It's the right-hand drawer, which goes over here, and you'll notice there is no bottom to the drawer. And I will. The bottom is this, and I've beveled the bottom, so the bottom of the bottom, so that it will fit into the drawer. And once that's together, goes in there and fits in there like that. The left hand goes in there like this, and of course there's the bottom for the left, and the top is going to want something like that. And so this is your table, and a couple more little things to finish on it. Put a couple more coats of finish, and I'll obviously attach the top, put the hardware on, and it's all yours. This is to show you why I had to do all this stuff inside, put these pieces on, and that's all for the drawers. So here's the right-hand drawer. And as I slide the right-hand drawer in, you'll notice this, this is called a kicker, this top piece here. The kicker prevents the drawer from flopping forward when it comes out. And the runner is what the bottom of the drawer rides on, so it rides nice and smooth. Don't have the knobs on, so I've got to reach inside. But that's why I spent all the time on the insides. I put a filler piece in here to make sure that the drawer doesn't catch, and there's a filler piece in here as well. So this thing's called a kicker, the bottom piece called a runner, and that's all inside, and you'll never see it and never know it's there unless the top's off, which the top isn't going to be off much longer. You'll notice these grooves back here as well. Those grooves are going to make little pieces that will fit into those grooves, and that will screw onto the top, and that's what's going to hold the top onto your onto the base. And so it'll all be one piece when you get it. So that's it. Hope you enjoy it when the time comes. Hi Natalie and Jeff. It's done. It was a fun project to build. I've moved into our house. I'm kind of squatted behind it. That's the top you see in the front of the picture. Moved into our house because I don't want it to get all scratched up in the shop, because it is finished and it's got a nice clear coat on it. So I'm trying to keep it in decent shape until we get it to you guys. We wish you all the best in your marriage, and enjoy the table.